Well, welcome to the Irish Jesuit Mission Office. The Irish Jesuit Mission Office is the outreach of the Jesuits in Ireland to our works in Asia, that is mainland China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Cambodia, Japan, and especially to Africa, Southern Africa, which include especially the countries of Zambia and Malawi, and of Eastern Africa, which cover 6 countries now, because we have 2 Sudans. We have the newest country in the world, which is South Sudan. It became a country in 2011, a country which I visited just 2 weeks ago. We work also and support projects in Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, Tanzania, and the 2 Sudans. So we run a very big agricultural college there, and the purpose is to teach and to train young farmers, both men and women, to grow nourishing food. There's also a project to grow rice on that farm, which is a massive farm of 500 acres, given to us by the government in order to help local people to improve agricultural methods so that they can feed themselves. As the proverb says, give a man or woman a fish and you just feed them for a day, but if you teach them how to fish, they will feed themselves for life. So that is one purpose of that major project that we are supporting in South Sudan. Hopefully, South Sudan will remain at peace over Christmas and the New Year, because as we say in Swahili, the proverb in Swahili says, bila amani hakuna maendeleo, without peace there is no development. The other major project we have in South Sudan, which is kind of a great example of our work every place, is education. The proverb in Swahili is, elimu, education, ni ufunguo wa amani. Education is the key to peace. And when we educate young people, especially young people coming from different ethnic groups, coming from different clans, who kind of learn together, live together in a boarding school, talk with one another, share each other's customs, play football together, it helps really integration in developing a kind of a one nation and a one family, really, in terms of a mutual understanding of one another. So education is key. We run a very big school in a place called Wau, just beside Rumbek, in South Sudan, as we do in many African countries, in Southern Africa, in Uganda as well, because we recognize that the education of young men and young women is key to building up a nation. In South Sudan, many of our students are ex-soldiers. They have been child soldiers, and after the war they have come back to school. Many of them they began to enter secondary school at the age of 15, 16, 19, 20. I think our oldest pupil is 26. And the wonderful thing in that school is that they're learning also the alphabet of peace after being at war. Because I do think that when a country has been at war, one enters into a culture and even a language of war, of tremendous aggression, of hurt. People are mourning lost ones, and they need a safe environment where they can mourn, learn about the problems of war, learn how they can get out of a mentality of vengeance, of hatred, and learn a language of love and of healing. And education is a tremendous way to help people to develop not only their country, but develop their spirits, their minds, their bodies. And what is wonderful about that school in Wau is that the number of girls, almost 50% of the school are girls. And while in Africa, it's very easy to enroll girls in school, be it primary school or secondary school, but to retain girls in school is not easy because of the customs and culture that in fact force girls into early marriage. Some girls are promised in marriage at the age of 12 or 14 and are married off at 15. And so the retention of girls in our educational institutions is key to the development of women, because I do think that the liberation of women in Africa is done through education and by education. And so in a very real way, the work of our office here can be described as walking with people, being a voice with them and for them, for justice in the world, for human rights, to call the world to recognize that there are many planets within our own planet, and that we need to become aware that there's 1 billion people going to bed every night hungry, or there are a child dying every 10 seconds because of lack of nutrition. When we are in our own little kind of closet, we can forget the world outside there. And what we try to do is to be a voice of those and for those who have no voice in our world today.